New at 11, crews are preparing to knock down decades of history along the Cumberland Avenue strip. That includes Stefano's Pizza, University Liquors, and the first ever Ruby Tuesday. The history of the strip, however, starts more than a century ago. In the 1900s, it was a neighborhood of mansions. In the 20s, restaurants and a theater moved in. And then by the 50s and 60s, it was a place of nightlife. By the 90s, it was ready for redevelopment. And 10 News reporter Grace King takes us back on a trip in time.
From the late 90s to the 2000s, the need for change on Cumberland Avenue became apparent.
We've lost a lot of that drive-in clientele that we used to have, and it's because people don't feel safe walking up and down the street.
City leaders hoped this project would bring those customers back.
Ultimate goal is to change it from a through street to a to street where people want to come here, spend time here.
After years of planning and delays, the streetscape project broke ground in 2015.
It's just a patience thing. Everyone's got to be patient.
As construction continued on the ground, developers started looking up.
When we make investment in the public realm, we want to make sure that we're seeing the private realm come in behind us and invest as well.
Multi-use apartment buildings with retail on the bottom and living spaces up top became the new standard over the last 5 years.
The walking developments are the premium developments. As long as you can walk to school, go ahead and build it.
Some say these developments are replacing decades of history.
Name a decade, and Cumberland Avenue is just like it has a different, a different identity in that time than it did the decade before.
In this case, Core Spaces plans to build on the original sites of Ruby Tuesday, University Liquors, and Stefano's Pizza.
It was just tradition. It's tradition, and they're going to miss it.
In a way, historian Jack Neely says that feeling is familiar.
When I went to Cumberland Avenue, you were saying, I remember when there were nice houses here. Where are all the nice houses? You know, and that's what they were saying 40 years ago.
He says these developments bring Cumberland back to its residential roots, where it all started more than a century ago.
It's up to you to decide whether it's like it was in the old days or not, but it's different. It's something I think that's been interesting to try to see if they can bring back that old spirit.
And right now on WBIR.com, we have more stories from the strip. You can see our coverage from the late 90s and early 2002 through the present.